Hello, everybody. How often do you reach for these things just out of habit or call it programming? They're always in our medicine cabinets. The Advils, the Tylenols, the Robaxes, those things, the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that are open market at every pharmacy, grocery store, all around us. These things are in everybody's homes. And I'm going to tell you just, from experience, and I'm proud to say this, I have not taken one of those things. Getting on to 5 years now. And I'm going to talk about it today. Let's get into it. Like always, this is Anthony Stewart. This is Food for Thought. I'm questioning everything they've ever said. They say a lot of shit. I am not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I am on a personal health journey, an N of one, the experiment on myself, constantly questioning mainstream dogma and science and, sharing my opinion and my story. And I have not taken an Advil, Tylenol, any kind of over-the-counter pharmaceutical drug whatsoever in almost 5 years now. And why? I don't think it's coincidence. Since I've chosen to take control of my health, contrary to what they say, things have been amazingly different. And, we get hurt. We feel like shit. Our go-to is reach for the Advil, reach for the Tylenol. And, my personal opinion now, especially, is I think there's a lot of factors at play here. My pain tolerance is through the roof. Study going to show me how my pain tolerance is improved? Is there any reason for that? Maybe it's just because my inflammation is so low, not to mention the ability to deal with trauma and pain when your body is functioning optimally. Things change. The parameters change. And I think a lot of it has to do with hydration, minerals, and also how well your body's functioning on a cellular level. When it gets the stuff that it needs, things change. And that's what I'm saying today. I mean, we all did. I did it for years. I wasn't a bad I didn't get a lot of bad headaches, no migraines or anything like that. But I always had. It was just a part of my life, and that's one aspect of this sort of this lifestyle change that I've done. That's there's no other answer. Not only do I not think about them anymore, but I just have no need to have them in my house. And, there's been some times where friends have been over and they've asked me for a Tylenol and I said, sorry, I don't have them. And they're like, what do you mean? And it's just like, I don't have them. I don't take that stuff to ease any symptoms. Even when I hurt myself, I had a video back in the day where I slipped on ice and, bashed my face. Not only did I heal within 7 days, and it's quite unreal, but I didn't need any painkillers. I used to have massive tooth pain. I don't need any painkillers. And, when I feel sort of off, I look to did I miss something? Did I not get enough minerals? Am I deficient in some kind of aspect? Did I not eat enough fat? And these are questions that they tell us that are, it's just you take some painkillers and, you go to the doctor and that's what they do, whether it's steroidal or, a little bit harder painkillers in the form of opiates, which are not a good idea. I mean, I don't have to tell you why. We're not here to judge. And I understand people suffer and I understand that there may be a time. But when you're preemptively preparing for these things through the form of giving your body the right weaponized resilience, all of a sudden things start changing. And when the brain fog goes away, you're hydrated, you're running on good quality nutrition, the the symptoms that go away are endless. I've done videos about how many things have changed in my life, and it's not about weight loss. This stuff is wild, from dandruff to dry skin. When you make that shift and put nutrition first, whatever way you want to look at it, things change. And what I believe is that they don't want you to know this. Why would they want you to be self-sufficient? They want you to be consuming. So at all costs, it seems, whether you want to believe it or not, this is, what is consumerism? Let's make a product, let's get them arguably hooked, and let's make it necessary. What if it's not necessary? Because it isn't. Another thing, my mom, once we fixed her diet and lifestyle, not only has she resolved iron deficient anemia, the doctors couldn't believe it. In 6 weeks, gone. How? Not iron pills, with diet. Not only was she a headache sufferer, migraines bad at times, now she takes salt. Go figure. Electrolytes. And she couldn't believe this. And this was, I think, this was like the deciding factor with my mom's story. And she was my first client, if you will. She called me and she was blown away. She's like, Tony, I had a bad headache. I took some salt and it's gone in 10 minutes. And she's been doing it ever since. Now, my 77-year-old mother does not have Advil, Tylenol, aspirin, any of that stuff in her medicine cabinet. It's wild. So, N of 1, N of 2. This stuff is possible. And I think if you just even look back to what's happening, there's answers. And I think we overlook this in a broad spectrum. We overlook the fact that what you're putting in your body and what is your body's exposed to as far as environmental chemicals and just pollution in general can be a very big factor. When you bring that inflammation down, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do because you know what I've done. But when your body's not inflamed and your body's got the nutrients it needs, things resolve. Things get better. And when you feel great, you get inspired to do things. The foundations of health: breathing, sleeping, moving, light, and love. And all of these things come into play, but they all work better when you fix your diet. And that's the other foundation. And it's the one that we get told you should be doing this and you must go plant-based. And, I'm not knocking anybody for trying things, but the power is in the open mind and to actually use some critical thinking. Dig into this stuff. Don't just trust somebody saying something. Figure it out for yourself. It's possible. But you got to look at things in context. And I just did a thing about carbohydrates being a non-essential nutrient. I looked online, and there it is. They're telling us we need sugar, we need it. St. Luke's, Tufts, all these touted medical institutions, they don't even know that carbohydrates aren't an essential nutrient. And if you don't believe me, you got to do some digging there, because it's just, I'm going to leave it at that. So I have not taken a painkiller in almost 5 years. This is possible for you too. And sometimes you may need it. I'm not saying you don't. But to rely on it through programming and decades of just convenience, you think outside the box and start repairing the box. Magic happens. Stay strong.